of Make It Possible. Everyone loves to dream. And they say, when you have to find yourself, what better option than traveling? So we have someone today who is the pioneer of getting the travel industry role in India. So we have Mrs. Zelam Chaubal, who's taken the travel industry with Kesari Tours and Travels to the next level. And we'll hear from her that how tourism in India looks like, how India can contribute to the world tourism, and her vision. So yes, welcome ma'am for this podcast, and we are very
Namaste,
honored to have
everybody.
you.
Thank you.
So my first travel when I was in ninth, I went to Shimla, and my first tourism was with Kesari. So I had no idea because when I was born in a Maharashtrian family and कहीं पे भी travel करना है, अरे केसरी का book कर लो. I mean it was so that कि okay कर लो जाना है. So when I read about you and Chetan had told me that it was founded in 1984. Your father founded it, and it's been founded before the Indian market was open. Now, in 1991 when India was open, how do you feel or what do you have to say about your father who started at that age, and what was his vision? Because I know him personally through Chetan, and inspired us. So what is your take on it?
Well, first of all, I'm very lucky to have parents like, everybody is lucky to have in their own way, but I'm fortunate to have them as parents. My father started at the age of 50 because
Wow.
at the age of 50, he realized he know nothing else but this business, travel, because he was in the field, but he was that time forced, having 4 children and no capital. And that time, you know how difficult getting capital for the business. But probably his courage, his willpower led him to start this business. And it just when you have passion to create something, to make the difference, then you are successful. That's what success follows with you.
So age is not a fact to start a startup. So
Not
when
at
he
all.
started at the age of 50, were you very well to do to start, that you had all the money, and then age of 50 when he started, did he have all the capital? अभी करना है, बहुत कमा लिया है. Was it that situation?
Not at all.
So
He was farmer by, what to say. Originally, he was farmer.
Okay.
He was working as a travel professional. And when he left or he had to leave the organization, he had nothing. As I said before, the courage, the passion to do something, to make the difference in this industry, that's when he started with very little capital. 10 by 10 was the first office.
wow. And
From where we started off. But, your intentions are honest. I think success follows. And that's what happens with him. He really wanted to give back to society in terms of travel. His dream was to show India to the world and world to India.
Wow. As far as I know, your mother, Mrs. Sunita Patil, a lot of women usually come in and help their husbands. And your mother, as far as, I've read, gave away, sold her jewelry, and she contributed to the business. But not only there, she also stepped into the business. I mean, very rare at that generation when your mom got into the business. So how do you describe your mother's role into this? I mean, it's a goosebumps thing that at that time, in that era. So what do you have to say about that?
My mother, not only once, she gave away her jewelry.
Okay.
Whenever there was problem in the business, she had done it probably 2, 3, 4 times. She had to give her entire jewelry for the business, and she did. I don't know what had gone through her mind. We are so attached to our jewelry and our stuff. But she did it. And there are many women in India, they do it. That is our culture, I guess. It's part of our culture that when there is need for the family need, women are the first one to come forward whatever they have. Sometimes they have hidden money in their dabbas, sometimes jewelry. And my mom did that, and that was our first capital, I can say.
Wow.
That's how he started. And probably she knew that he will be successful. And we were very young, like I was 14-year-old, my other brother was 12. So in that age, 12 to 16 were our ages. But because he started at the age of 50, we were very, very inspired. Kuch bhi ho jaye, but
Wow.
we will make him successful. So I don't know as a children what we did that time, but I know we were awake whole night writing the addresses to send people the notes that we have started the company and you can travel with us. The huge directories, we used to get addresses from directories and all those things we have done by then in around 1984-85.
So I have known you for 1.5 years now, and I've always seen that zeal and passion. Still you are part of different platforms, which is a service where you want to help others grow. I remember when I was a part of one of the platforms, and you used to call me. Did you fill the form? Did you do this? Did you do that? You were not getting anything in return. So I can see that part of one from your father and from your mother in you. So, did you always knew that you wanted to get into this tourism, travel and service industry, or it just happened over a course of time?
Actually, no. I have seen how my parents, my brothers, sisters are working so hard for this business. I didn't want to be part of this business. I wanted something very easy. And while studying, I got married and I went to US.
Okay.
In US, the first thing I realized is I'm zero. I have no education. I have nothing. What will I do? I mean, how will I survive in this world? And I was thinking all the time, I must do something. So I realized I started working in bank as tailor because that is the only job was available to me. With my education, I had done inter CA, but I was not complete CA when I went to US. So I started working in bank and I realized this is not for me. This is not my cup of tea. I'm born for probably business. And I started looking for business. And when looking for options, I found this travel from home.
Okay.
It is easy in US to start business from home. That's what my realization, and I started looking for business and started with travel. So probably travel is our destiny, and I took it as from there. And I was pretty successful doing that business, air ticketing and packages in US. And when we came back, I had ready Kesari, but I was told that this is your chair as director, but you have to prove. And that was tension. How I'm going to prove? But eventually, yes, I have proven to myself and I'm happy about it. Kesari Mice is my baby in Kesari.
Yes.
Otherwise, the Kesari credit goes to entire family, my father, my siblings, elder brother, sister, younger brother, their wives. Everybody is part of Kesari success.
Wow. So when you joined as a woman leader, did you face any challenges where you had to prove yourself because you're a woman? And did you face any biases? Do you recall of any such incident that happened with you?
Actually, I never paid attention to this.
Okay.
I mean, people do comment. Like when I was in mice business, people asked me, how come you are in business? You have brothers. I mean, this is male-dominated business. But I never cared for those things when you don't, because our parents raised us as there is no difference between a girl and boy. And they have always encouraged us. So I never really paid attention. In fact, one thing I will tell you, because I'm a woman, I'm more successful in service industry. That's what
Wow.
I feel. More women are there in service industry who are successful. We understand what people want, what their needs are, and um, yeah, world over it is proven women are doing good. So I don't recollect any example, probably because I have not paid attention.
Wow.
And I think whatever comes in our way, just get over it and go ahead. If you have that approach, then you don't fall in that because I'm woman, because I always feel because you are a woman you are more advantageous.
So, when we're talking about leader, we as youngsters, and India has 50% population of the age group in 20s. If we want to see India becoming somewhere and becoming a superpower in this decade, India should take up as a leader stage on the global platform. So, how much do you think tourism plays a role in this? And where will India stand up front, or where will India differentiate on that stage when it comes to tourism?
Yes, we all have seen India image is changing in the world. Now, wherever we go in the world, people talk about India with respect. And that respect shows the change in New India. I feel tourism will play a big role. People will come to India, and in fact, it is my dream to show India to the world. People will come to India for spirituality. People will come to India to learn yoga and our culture, to know more about our culture and heritage. Slowly, the world has started knowing about India. When I went to US, I knew beyond Europe, nobody knew India.
Okay.
Somewhere till Europe, people knew about India and our culture. But beyond that, people were not knowing. But now, people have started knowing about India. People, wherever we go in world, people talk about India, our rickshaws, our hospitality, our spirituality, our yoga, our jungles, our heritage. I mean, there is so much in India that Indians should be proud of. And if every Indian is proud of India, our heritage, our culture, it will not take time to create the India in our dreams for the world.
Oh, absolutely.
What is lacking currently is our infrastructure. We create that infrastructure. And it is not that we cannot create the infrastructure. We have already proven the largest parikrama, Ganga parikrama, the largest route, 6 months, it takes 6 months and 5,000 kilometers. So that is in India. Then we have created Statue of Unity and people are just visiting like crazy. So we can create this kind of world-class infrastructure. Government has taken lot of initiatives and have created different circuits like Himachal circuit, Gandhi circuit, Bauddha circuit, now Narmada circuit. So these circuits will make India more and more popular and people would come to India. And one reason for sure people will come to India to understand, to get solace and they will find it here in India.
Oh,
Definitely they will come, because I'll give you one example. I was in Jerusalem and I was talking to those young kids who have joined. They had to join the military, right? So he was talking to me and he said, after I am done, next 5 months I will be done with my military education and I want to go to India. And I said, why do you want to go to India? He said, you know what, after this we go to India to get solace, to get, peace of mind.
Wow.
They come to India. And right from Steve Jobs, we have seen
people
come to India to find
the
something,
purpose of life,
solace, peace of mind. And that is our India, and we need to promote that India. Somewhere we have lacked promoting in India, but we are doing it now, and future is ours. In future, people of the world will definitely come to India. They will come to see the largest populated country, how it lives, how come they have different languages, how come they have n number of food varieties. We don't have just 6-7 varieties of food, but we have thousands of varieties of food, and food changes every state
Every
wise.
state.
That is nowhere in the world. That is only in India, and there are so many things which happens only in India, and that is so very important. So future is ours. We all should believe that we want to make India world class place, and it will happen.
Wow. When you talk about your dream, your passion is so contagious and I can see it in your eyes. If this has to come to reality, what do you think there are 2-3 things that needs to be done? Anywhere, from the government side, from anyone's side. What should be there? Infrastructure, as in what infrastructure?
Number one thing we all Indians should do is we should be proud of our country, our heritage, our culture. Number one. Number two, from government side, we should create world-class infrastructure. People should be happy to go and visit that place. People come back to place when they get value out of that place.
Right.
We travel to Singapore, we travel to Thailand, and we want to go again. Why? You get value out of your money. Same way in India, when people will come again and again when they get value.
Absolutely.
Value in terms of medical tourism, value in terms of spirituality, value in terms of yoga and our culture and heritage. People will come to learn about our India. People of the world think how India, being largest population in the world, how come people are so happy in India? How come people are so content in India? How come people of India, they call each other uncle and aunts? How it is possible? How anybody is welcome in Indian homes? This is what world want to learn from us. So I think if we create infrastructure, we promote India in all of these aspects, yeah, there is no place in world like India.
Wow. So, being in the travel industry for decades now, I think Kesari's vision was to take it global. You must have, how many countries have you visited so far?
I have visited 65 countries so far.
Wow.
I always feel one birth is not enough to visit whole, but nowadays we see on videos that people within 2 years they have seen the world.
So what is your experience, visiting all these diverse 65 countries and coming from India? Where do you see the other countries and what's your experience while, because 65 is a huge number.
One thing I realized after visiting so many countries, people of the world are same.
Okay.
Their thought process, their thinking, their emotions are same. But environment is different. Every country has different environment, different culture. So there is the difference. Otherwise, we all want to be saint. We all want to be nice. And that's how world is. If you understand the people, if you understand the people's psychology, then you can create the difference. That's what I understand from the world. Yeah.
So last year I visited the Himalayas and I understood that we have one of the greatest asset in our country, the spiritual mountains, you can say. If we have to make, like you said, India the spiritual capital, what is it that we should do? Because even we youths don't travel to our own Himalayas. And like you said, Steve Jobs and people from the West actually come and see India in that way where, where people are seeking peace of mind, where people are seeking a higher meaning to themselves. So if we want to make India as a spiritual capital, like you said, what is it that one or two, three things that we should be doing?
The first thing I think as I said before, we should believe in our own culture. We should believe in our own values. How many people, how many youth do yoga? How many of them believe in yoga? So yoga is a science. We should believe in it for our health benefits, and it is proven. It's good. It should be taught in our schools.
Absolutely.
It should be taught in our schools. Our maths,
Vedic.
the world over, Indian CEOs. So
Indians.
there must be something in our education system that we should not let go. Our education system is good. That's why we are now recognized world over as intelligent people. So there is something in India's air that they are producing so many CEOs for the world.
For the world, absolutely.
So I think, yes, we have to believe in our system, and we have to encash that system. We have to promote that system, and we have to make that system as part of our lifestyle. When we do that as part of lifestyle, then the world will know, oh, he does that, so he's different.
Absolutely.
Right.
So I've always seen you on your toes, running here, there, and always full of energy. How are you managing and balancing your lives, and how do you take care of the family, make time for, I think today you have some guests coming over, you've come here, now you'll rush somewhere. How do you manage all this hustle? Where do you find your calm and your peace from?
What I think is, if you're passionate to do anything, if you have purpose, each one of us should find our purpose. Once you find that purpose, you get energy to align things.
Okay.
That does not mean it is all balanced. There is imbalance, that you always have guilt that you cannot give enough time to your children, which I had also. But give them quality time. I have seen where they are in education, who are their friends, what they are doing. I mean, if you watch that and they look up to you, how parents are, children's ban jate hain. So I think you can manage. It's that if that jest in you, you can balance it out and you become solution finder.
Right.
Whatever problem you have, whether it is at home, whether it is at office, it helps. I feel business helps you manage the house better.
Right. Because you're managing a lot of stuff in business.
Yes.
It helps you manage house
and then,
better.
then house, everything, you know. This is what it is. So menu should be ready. So all principles what you learn from business that you apply in your house, and that's how work-life balance. There is no, I feel, a definition to work-life balance, but every successful woman you go and ask, she has managed this. That is her balance. And everybody has to find her own balance, and business, being an entrepreneur, that balance happens. You are smart enough, you become smart enough to create that balance, and I think it happens.
Wow. And is there any moment where you have a lot of self-doubts that will you be able to do? Are you capable of? What will people think? In terms of where you question your own self, what is it that you feel, or what is it that you do when you face self-doubt?
Oh my gosh, I am full of self-doubts.
It doesn't look like.
Initially, yes, I had doubts. In fact, when I started, I always, in my mind, always like to take challenges. But at the same time, I used to think whether I can do it, or I should let go. I'll give you one example. When I started mice business, nobody in the office knew what mice is. There were failed attempts in our office. when I took it over, and I said, I was literally in tears, and I was telling my siblings, you know what, if I'm not successful, give me 1 year, 1 year or two. If I'm not successful, don't say anything. Otherwise, that failure aa
Guilt
jata
and
hai.
all, हाँ.
But when you are entrepreneur, failure is not an option. We all have to understand failure is not an option. Whenever there is failure, I learned this with experience. Whenever there is failure, understand it is a lesson, and you become more strong.
Absolutely, yes.
So this is how I have overcome when my doubts.
Wow.
And one success leads to another success. So entrepreneurship journey, yesterday's success does not guarantee
Yes,
tomorrow's
tomorrow's.
success, and that's what happens. So you have to be on your toes for newer things, adapt your environment. Now environment is changing like within minutes,
Yes.
not even hours. So we have to learn to adapt and go with the flow,
Right.
learn a lot of things on this journey, and you can overcome. One thing I learned is whenever you are fearful, capture your fear. And when you learn to capture your fear, you become stronger and stronger at all the times. And whenever there are challenges in the business, that also makes us stronger.
Strong.
And those two things has helped me quite a lot. Capture your fear and don't be afraid of any challenge.
Wow.
Once you overcome that challenge, then you are newer and stronger person. And that's I have seen in myself with experience.
Wow. So when you're saying, self-doubt, self-belief, in this generation, we have a lot of youngsters. First of all, attention capacity has gone down. There is so much distraction available everywhere. And that leads you to doubt your step at every moment. So if there are a lot of girls especially who are watching you, all the youths, if you have to tell them just two things, that what is it that is needed to make yourself or your dream big there in life, what is it that you will tell apart from all the things which you've told? Two most things which are very close to you.
First and most important thing is believe in yourself. Okay? Believe in yourself and find your own niche. And probably if you work hard or smart towards it, the whole world will conspire to
make
get
it
it done or to make you successful. But believing in yourself and finding your own niche, what you like, what is that you want to achieve. If you find that, and just finding and believing in yourself does not happen. So you dream big, but and you do not work for that dream, it will not happen. Dream big as well as work hard to make it happen. And then, aim for the moon. If you don't get it, you will fall among the stars. And that is the story of every life, probably. You have to aim for the moon always.
Wow, thank you, ma'am. Your energy is really contagious. I mean, I'm getting goosebumps looking at your eyes, and it's our honor to have you. So thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you so much for thinking of me. And
no, I mean, at this age also, your energy levels have not even come down this much. It's just going on rising, and I think this will be a great help for a lot of people who want to do something in life and thinking ki, okay, I've become this, I don't know, should I do it, should I not? Absolutely, you've given us 2-3 points which I have started thinking. And thank you so much for making our weekend great. And thank you for coming here. It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much. It is great initiative. If one person get inspiration from these stories, that will be your success. And I want you all the world success for this initiative. First of all, very, very congratulations for this initiative. Great initiative. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
It was
Thank you
honor
so
to be
much.
part
Thank
of
you.
this program.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.